All right, so I put this carcass together manually, the way I normally do it, just by hand, and one piece at a time. It took me 6 minutes and 38 seconds, and I was working at a pace that I felt, an employee would work, or I would work on a day where I'm not rushed. Basically, trying to not rush through it. Let's go ahead and let's build this idea that I have, this assembly jig, and see if the jig helps us build this carcass any faster. All right, so I've got the jig, I think, done. I'm not sure if I'm going to put in some side panels here to actually hold in the side panels later. I'm already having, to be honest with you, I'm already having a little bit of trouble, it seems, just even with the dry fit, being able to remove the actual carcass from this jig. It's almost like there's some sort of either a friction fit there or a vacuum going on. So I don't know what we're going to do about that. I also had to have to add on here, you'll see I had to add a couple cardboard shims just because my cut was a tiny bit off and I couldn't fix it because I already glued it and screwed it to the base. So I've glued in some cardboard shims here for what is the bottom of the carcass. To bring it out just a little bit to make it flush with the rest of the pieces. But let's try it. Let's see if it needs more work or if it's even gonna work. I'll time it. I've got my trusty timer here. We'll time it and see how quickly this goes together versus doing it by hand. Okay, so the promising news is that with the jig, it did shave off basically 1 minute and 40 seconds from the build of the carcass. So it took it from 6:38 to just almost 5 minutes. However, it added another 2.5 to 3 minutes for me to figure out how to get this box, this carcass that has been tightened up against this jig, how to get it off. And I actually mucked up my plywood a little bit trying to pry this thing off. So in my quest to build this thing as closely to the interior dimensions of the carcass as I could, that has resulted in such a tight fit that it's really kind of difficult to get the carcass off this jig. So I don't know if I can go to work on this jig a little bit. It's already glued up and sanded. So I don't know if there's something I can do to fix it. You guys out there who make jigs quite often, man, I'm open to your suggestions here. I would ultimately like to have a jig that we could use to assemble that product. And maybe this isn't the one. Maybe I did not approach this the right way. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep working on this. I'll keep trying to lean it up a little bit, maybe with my sander, the hard way, and see if I can't get this to a point where I can get the carcass on and off, or perhaps I can just perhaps I can put the pieces on here and just brad nail them together. before I try and pull it off. That way I have all the pieces assembled, but not tight. So they still will flex a little bit. I don't know. I'll keep tinkering around with it, and if I can get it fixed, I'll make another video that shows you this thing that actually working, which right now I would not call this a working jig. But it was an attempt, and I'm not ready to admit defeat just yet. We'll see you next time, and hit that subscribe button to see more videos like this. Thanks a lot.